In today's episode of LTV Lab, we're doing a deep dive into the customer journey of Dose. So, Dose is a 7-figure juice brand in the food and beverage space. And a little over 30 days ago, Saf, our incredible operations manager at Dispatch, ordered a product that she needed from their e-commerce store. Since then, we've tracked literally everything that Dose has done over the last month to try and win Saf back as a repeat customer. Saf's going to walk us through her real experience as a Dose customer, and then me and the rest of the Dispatch team are going to break down exactly what we would do if we were taking over as Lifecycle marketing managers at Dose to improve their repeat purchase rate and customer LTV.
So I decided to order from Dose because, well, one, I think like ginger shots kind of make you that girl, and I think that that's really cute. But two, they also had all of these like cold pressed juices that I usually get from one of the like natural food grocery stores by me, and they're like kind of expensive. And I also wanted to try a bunch of different flavors, and they just had a lot of variety. They had a few different assortments. I could build my own pack, and I automatically got excited. Also, looking at some of the imagery on their website, like, you can't tell me this doesn't look like it would heal your soul. I love that. So in terms of initial ordering experience, it was very straightforward. They have a shop page where you can select any different way you want to shop, but I actually started with their quiz, and I'll show that to you. It's here. Here we go. So they have a quiz on their site to help you find your perfect shot or juice, and it's called Find the Perfect Dose, which I think is so cute. In terms of the actual quiz, they basically ask you a bunch of questions regarding what your preferences are. I took screenshots, so we didn't have to go through the whole thing. But they ask about your main health concerns, your experience with superfoods, your energy levels, how much spiciness you can take, because they're ginger-based shots, so sometimes they can be quite spicy. They ask about your digestion, and then they do the email capture as part of that quiz. So I did the quiz. I asked them to email me my results, and based on that, I shopped for the products that I wanted. What I ended up getting was their variety pack, or like your build your own pack, so that I did the one-time purchase, and I did the build your own. I think it was the 14 piece that I did, which is very interesting because last time I was on this site, they actually did it the opposite way. So it's 14, 21, and then 30. So maybe they've changed it to kind of encourage people to shop more. Oh, and they also updated all of their imagery here. This is way cuter than it was before. So I love that. You could basically go in and choose any of the different shots or any of the different juices that you wanted. You build your own box and then you hit add to order. So overall, the process was super, super easy. You got to choose your delivery date at your checkout, which was really helpful. And overall, just like experience. In terms of their welcome offer, which I did use once I got my email results, I also received their welcome email where I got their welcome offer, which is 12 free ginger shots with the code SHOT SURPRISE, which was, I think, a really, really strong offer because I immediately got excited about being able to try a whole bunch of different ginger shots without having like too much commitment. So I thought that was a really, really strong offer. I also found their email on how to apply that code really, really helpful because I found in some other customer journeys, they just kind of give you the code and then expect you to figure out the rest of it. But the fact that they told you like add the pack to your cart, and then once you add the code, it will come off of your total, I found super helpful.
The one thing I didn't like that wasn't clear is like, did you get that? Like, is this customized based on the quiz or this is what everyone gets?
This is what everyone gets.
Okay. And was that in the like intro offer for you to take the quiz, or it's like completely disconnected? Like the quiz is just like its own thing.
The quiz is its own thing. The problem is when I did it, I didn't see this offer. I did the quiz and then I got the offer. But looking at their site now, their pop-up does offer this as like a general, you can get it. Does that make sense?
And you were able to redeem it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that was also a nice surprise that you don't have to do one of their pre-selected. You could use this even in your build your own box, which I loved.
I see the quiz like super low on their site. Like, is that how you found it, or you found it like the way?
That is how I found it, I think. Because I did like a quick search. So I'm a little bit crazy. Whenever I buy something online, I do scour their entire website to do all the research to make my brain feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So I did find it and it was pretty low.
Got it. Okay, cool.
The first email that I received was on the same day that I placed the order, which was just an order confirmation message, which was followed by on the same day, an email that had a subject line of, this is an important email. So immediately I'm like intrigued. And they basically asked me what language I want to be communicated in, which makes sense, either French or English, because they're a Canadian-based company, which I think is a really great ask for people. I do wonder if they could have already grabbed that information because I selected to do the quiz in English, so they already had that. But I guess for people who don't do the quiz, that absolutely makes sense. After that, the next couple days, I pretty much just got more transactional emails going through. It's like track your order with shop, or my order was out for delivery. So like overall, just like very standard transactional emails. I did appreciate that they gave me a window when it was going to be delivered, as well as a confirmation when it was delivered, because these products have to go in the fridge as soon as you get them. It's pretty important that you're home when you're expecting it to get here. So that was really, really good. But then this is where it kind of goes in a slightly different direction, which is there were 13 days where I received absolutely nothing for this brand, which was really, really surprising considering how much they talk about the benefits of cold pressed juice and ginger shots on their website. I didn't hear anything about it. It was just 13 days of no communication, followed by 3 requests a few days apart to rate some of the items that I ordered. And I found it really interesting that they asked for 3 different reviews on 3 separate occasions. I found it to be a lot. So it had occurred to me maybe they're struggling to get reviews. They could have done I don't know, an incentive if they had said hey, please review this product and get an extra, I don't know, 5-10% off your next order. That could have been helpful to kind of encourage me to leave a review, but they did send 3. Then getting into, so I'm now at July 6th. This is more than 30 days since I purchased my initial bundle of products. That's when I started to receive what I'm assuming are campaigns. From here, there was I wasn't getting any campaigns. I wasn't really getting any post-purchase. Then as of July 6th onward, I started getting a lot of promo-based emails. The first that I received was actually in French and in English, which was really confusing because they had asked me previously what language I wanted to be communicated to in. So I'm not sure why they have both languages in one email. It just made me feel like there's a lot going on here. It's great to have offers for your subscription box and link to all the different ways where you can find more information, but there's just a lot going on here having it in both languages in one email. So that was on July 6th. On July 7th, I received another promo, but a different one for specific juice, which I had tried in my initial order. It's delicious, but that's a separate conversation. July 8th, so again, one day after, it's another reminder to shop this promo. And then again on the next day, July 9th, it's another promo on how to get free shipping forever for their subscription program. And then on the same day, I received another email saying that they're now at Uber Eats, which again, super cool. But to go from having almost no communication to an email almost every day, and all of them are promotion focused, feels a little bit disjointed. And then that takes me to the end of my just over 30 days of post-purchase journey. And I included these last couple emails here just for a little bit more, just for more information, which was a very interesting strategy given that I didn't get any other types of campaigns. And I don't know if that was on purpose or if I'm still considered recently purchased given the volume of items that I ordered. But yeah, that was the post-purchase journey.
You received, were they the same promo but reminding you, or were they actually different?
Good question. So on July 6th, it was a 30% off subscription plus free shipping. July 7th was 20% off this specific 10-pack of juice. July 8th was the same, but then July 9th was something else, a different free shipping. So they were all different. In terms of unboxing, it was a fairly straightforward unboxing. I will say the box was quite heavy. So for me, it was no problem. But for someone with I don't know, different abilities, it might not have been as easy to get in the house. I know for me, my grandpa lifted it in and even he was yeah, it was really heavy. But the products came in a regular, it was a pretty big box with the company name on the outside. And then when you opened it, it came with this insulating layer with all the juice kind of dumped inside with a couple of ice packs. So I have no issues with that. The ice packs were still really cold when I finally got into the box. I think it was an hour or 2 after it was delivered that I actually opened it, but everything was still cold, so no complaints there. The only issue that I had with the unboxing, actually there was 2. is one with the condensation, the like paper inside, which is really just the like packing slip, got really like mushy. So the paper was kind of falling apart. So I would have put that on top of the like insulating layer. And then the other thing is they do include those ice packs again to keep things cold, which makes sense. But there's no instructions on how to dispose of them properly. So for a company that's all focused on like no waste and organic and all the things, it would have been helpful to know how to dispose of those ice packs in a way, like in the most ecological way, because I don't think you can just cut them open and dump them down the sink. And you could only keep so many ice packs in the fridge.
Are they like the water-based ones? Like it was like kind of clear with like
it was an opaque bag, so I actually don't know. And it didn't
Okay.
say anything on there. So they're still sitting in my kitchen because I don't know what to do. But
Usually you could pour them down the drain.
I was thinking I do chef's plate and they're clear and you just cut them open, put them down the drain, and then on the packaging of the chef's plate one it says you can recycle it. So I was wondering if they were the same, but those ones have instructions on the actual ice pack thing. So I'm
yeah,
surprised
there's nothing.
nothing on it at all to let you know what to do with it.
Yeah, so that was a little bit confusing for the unboxing. But outside of that, no complaints. It was totally fine. In terms of the actual product, I loved it. All of the ginger shots were like really, really good. Almost all of the cold pressed juices were really good. Some of them were not my jam, but I could imagine how they would be someone else's jam. For the first, I think 2 weeks, I had a ginger shot every single day, and I actually saw the benefits from it. Yes, they were very spicy for anyone wondering, and yes, it took a hot sec to like get used to that feeling in the mornings. But like over the 2 weeks, I felt less bloated, and not just like after eating. It was like for the whole day, like I felt less bloated, which was really good. The juices were delicious. I will say one word of caution for anyone who's going to try them. The energy version of the ginger shots has quite a bit of caffeine in them. That's my fault for not reading the label properly, but just as an FYI, because I don't do caffeine, that was interesting. But I loved it. My only issue is that I'm excited about the product initially, which is why I was so consistent. But it was one of those where you miss one day and you kind of fall out of the habit really quickly. And because I didn't have that ongoing touch point, that ongoing education, I forgot about them. And then they sat at the bottom of my fridge. So even though I loved it, because I didn't have that continuous touch point, I fell out of the habit and stopped drinking them.
What was your order? Just remind me. You had the 12 free shots and then juices?
Yeah. I had the 12 free shots, so the variety pack. Then I ordered a couple of other ginger shots that weren't in that variety pack. So the ginger and honey one wasn't included and I wanted to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had tried a few of their different cold pressed juices. This taxi one is delicious.
So how much are they? They're like $6-7 for
Yeah, they're like
one?
$6-7 each. And the ginger shots are about $4 each, give or take.
Okay. How did you feel about the value?
I think the value was pretty standard considering that I usually get cold pressed juices from like the natural grocery store by my house. And I think those ones were like $12 for 500 mils. So this being $6-7 for 300 mils was like around that ballpark anyways. Though I will say when you get them at like grocery stores, sometimes they come in like glass bottles instead of plastic, which maybe is my brain being funny, but I find that a better experience drinking from glass than I do from plastic, though obviously shipping glass has drawbacks. So I don't fault the company for it in any way, but it is something that I was thinking about.
And have you ever made juice yourself, Saf?
Yes, it's such a pain in the butt. We have like a juicer at home. It's not a cold press machine because I think you can really only get those like industrially. So it's like a regular juicer. And what's really interesting is that there are so many benefits to having it cold pressed rather than traditionally juiced, which I wish they had talked about in their emails, but that's a separate thing. But to like cut up all of your produce, wash it, juice it, and then have to wash the juicer takes so long that this is so much more convenient and technically better for you.
Cool.
Sorry. And lastly, what's the difference between cold pressed and like regular juiced? Because I haven't seen that come up in any of this, but I also don't know.
Yeah, super good question. And something that I really hope they talk about in their welcome series that I didn't get because I placed an order. Basically, when you heat treat any type of juice in general, so when you use a traditional juicer, there is some level of heat because of friction. It reduces the nutritional content. So when you cold press it, it keeps all the nutrients intact.
Is that why
Yeah.
also because they're cold pressed that it had to go in the fridge right away?
I think in general, anything that you like juice should go in the fridge regardless. But yes, from my understanding, you should put it in the fridge if you're not going to finish it right away as well, because it preserves the nutrients longer.
I'm very surprised they didn't tell you that after you purchased.
Yeah, me
So
too.
that
I'm
would
like
be
really happy
very
I read the FAQ section on the website, because otherwise I wouldn't have known a lot of this.
All right, so now that we covered the entire customer journey for Dose, we are going to take a few minutes, jot down our notes and our thoughts, and we are going to come back and the dose, pun intended, on how they can improve their customer LTV and their repeat purchase rate. If you're enjoying this video and you manage marketing at an e-commerce brand that's doing over $150,000 in monthly revenue, if you'd like the team at Dispatch and I, who generated over $50 million in email and SMS marketing revenue for e-commerce brands just like yours over the last few years, to audit your customer journey and your Klaviyo account, click the link in the description. We can hop on a 15-minute call and see if we can qualify you for a free Klaviyo audit. All right, now back to the episode. Strategists at Dispatch, myself, Kayla, and Eleni are now going to break down exactly what we would do if we were managing lifecycle marketing for Dose in order to improve their key retention metrics. So let's get into it.
First of all, I would say the transactional emails, those are pretty standard, but there's pretty important information they've left out, like that this needs to be in the freezer or fridge right away when you get it. I would be so curious to know like what customer service return rate is like, or if things go bad because people don't do that if they don't know. So definitely having information on that and some FAQs, also like what to expect if these have functional benefits and nutritional benefits, like knowing what to expect before you get it, and then not talking to you at all after you get your product, like including some information on how to build your habit. Like, when should you be drinking these? Should you drink them in the morning? Should you drink them in the evening? How often? None of that's communicated to you. So especially if this is your first experience with brew or cold juice, you may not know all of that. And not everyone is going to go read all of the FAQs before they make a purchase. I think there's so much here on like when to drink it, how often, what to really like what to expect. And then also really getting people to consume that product so that if you are emailing about those promotions, people are like, okay, I drank all my juice. I'm ready to subscribe, or I'm ready to engage in these promotions. There also wasn't a lot of talk around the subscription at all, which if you're really focusing on habit building and drinking these all the time, like I feel like a subscription could be an easy sell after someone's gotten like that habit. But there's no just, hey, you get free shipping. There's no actual benefits of like, what does a subscription do for me? Like, why should I subscribe to this other than getting free shipping and a discount? Which there's definitely a lot of benefits here that can be spoken around.
Yeah, on that note, with what you said, Kayla, if they had stayed top of mind and had kept me in that like little habit cycle, I could totally have seen myself becoming a subscriber because of how good I felt. If I hadn't if I had forgotten about it because life gets busy, things happen, whatever, it falls to the bottom of your fridge, like under other things. If I had stayed on it, I could totally see myself
and I feel like
regularly.
I don't know a lot about cold juices and stuff, but I feel like there's probably like a lot to it. If there's an energy one that's supposed to boost your energy, even just sending an email in the morning being like, pair your energy with, you know, for breakfast. This is our pairing for breakfast. This is our pairing for lunch, or this is our pairing for what to do for after the gym, right? Like,
yeah,
like showcasing some use cases like that on really not just here's a product, but here's really how to fit it in your life and making it really approachable and attainable for people to see this in their everyday life. Because if you can see that, then you actually do it. Like you said, a subscription's a no-brainer. And then you have them into that funnel.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting you said that, because that even fits with like all of their different juices. They have a juice that's called Focus that is specifically like the ingredients are supposed to help you focus. So to like even speak to like hire during your meetings, or like you have an important meeting coming up today, like have this on your desk ready to go. Like,
I think also the interesting thing is like you did that quiz, so they do have data on you, and like they didn't use it throughout this.
Yeah,
Because it's so low on their site, they probably don't. I would imagine not many people go through it unless it's in a welcome flow or another flow. But in your case, they do have that data, and they could speak to you very specifically about those questions that you answered to build that habit and to see this product in your everyday life.
For sure.
Cool. You touched on it a little, Saf, but like in the most realistic response and lens possible, like would you react if the brand started sending you those types of emails?
Honestly, especially in the first like 30 days after my purchase, I would react really well to it because it keeps them top of mind as long as they didn't do it. Because like if you're screaming at people, like use it, use it, use it now, it feels a little bit overwhelming. But at the very least, for the first, let's say, week or two, like every couple of days of like, did you have your ginger shot this morning? Or like on what's a good example? Maybe on a Sunday morning, like, did you have too much fun last night? Like, have a digestion shot so that you don't feel as hungover or whatever. I think could have gone a very long way to encourage me to finish the product that I already had.
100%. And I think like at the end of the day, if you're sitting here today and saying like there's still product in your fridge that you haven't consumed, or there was product for a while that wasn't being consumed simply because you forgot about it. You also said that you have made your own juice in the past. You said that you bought juice from another store. Ultimately, staying top of mind is 90% of the battle for someone when they're trying out a new product. So I definitely think all of that makes sense.
I do agree with everything Kayla said on like really including use cases, education, really just any communication, considering there was so many days with absolutely nothing here. When we were kind of looking even at the review request and the campaigns, if you want to scroll over a little bit, Saf, like just looking at these review request emails, clearly they're using some type of integration to get the review in, but there's no, maybe I'm looking at it pretty small, there's no clear CTA to like leave a review. I assume you click the number of stars and it'll submit for you. You don't really have a text box here either, or a CTA that takes you somewhere where you can have a text box. So I think that that could improve kind of their engagement with this email overall and help them get those reviews that they're looking for. And then also for the campaigns, they are all plain text or mostly plain text with minimal images. But looking at this next to their site, the first thing I noticed is it does feel a bit disjointed. I know like we love to use a plain text to disturb the kind of pattern and the expectation of every time you open what you know is a marketing email for it to be super nicely branded. But I think this is a rare case where they could use more branded emails, especially considering they have really, really pretty branding and their products look good. Their packaging looks good. They have like icons on the site. They have a lot of certifications to call out. These are all things that they could be incorporating into those campaigns that they are sending.
100%. And like just to touch on that, I don't know if this is something that you realized, Saf, but there's so much to be said when like we look at their Instagram. So this is something that we've talked about before on previous episodes, something that we spend a lot of time thinking about. But like so many brands are doing what Dose is currently doing, which is like treating email and potentially SMS as like just a certain channel that has its specific purpose, and they're like looking at the channel in a silo or as a silo, and they're not really thinking about like how it actually lends itself and complements the other channels that their customers and their email subscribers are like consuming content and marketing from. So like if we look at their Instagram, like it's such a stark difference to what we're seeing in terms of the emails they're sending, where like the content that they're putting out, number one, is like clearly very like creative heavy. It's very colorful. It's very bright. Like their brand very much feels like alive when I'm looking at it. And they're posting almost daily, if not daily. So when I look at this, like there's no shortage of things for them to say, which is like a huge contrast to the like lack of email campaigns that they're sending to stay top of mind. And again, like just to double down on that kind of assessment of them looking at the channel in a silo or as a silo, like when you look at any of these Instagram posts, even if it's just like taking reference from some UGC they're posting, every like message that they're including in one of these Instagram posts can easily be reformatted into a really good email. Like there's no reason why the core message of what they're saying on any given day on Instagram be sent as a really engaging email that either like involves a video like this or just takes the angle and the content of a video like this and puts it into like email format. So is this something that you like noticed at all, Saf? I don't know if you follow them on Instagram or other channels, but like even when we go to like their Facebook ads library or their meta ads library, like all of the advertising that they're doing to bring people into their funnel for that first purchase is very like creative heavy, very fun, like very like alive as a brand. And yeah, I'm just curious to know, Saf, like, did you feel that way as a customer, or like did you not have any interaction with these other channels?
So I didn't really have any interaction with those other channels. So I guess I didn't really like notice for the most part that it had all of this. I did notice, however, how beautiful the imagery on their site is, and that I didn't see any of it in email. Perhaps I'm a little bit more sensitive to it because this is what we all do for work. Even like taking that out and looking at it as a consumer, it did feel like there was a lack of creativity in the emails that I received. It felt very much like an intern was putting them together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think like most likely, just from all of the hundreds of brands that I've audited over the last few years, it's probably like a marketing coordinator who is wearing a lot of hats and like maybe
Yeah.
also is running their meta ads and also doing a lot of other things. And their emails, I'm sure when they do send them, are probably generating revenue. So it's easy to think that like was okay and like all is performing as it should be. And that's really where the gap exists in terms of what they're currently doing and how they're currently sending emails. And then the reality of what that parallel universe could look like if they were sending extremely good content that was well branded at a consistent rate to stay top of mind. So I think that definitely makes sense based on just shopping on the website and now looking at everything that you've received over the last 30 days. What is your assessment of the brand? When you look at Dose as a brand, what does the word and the branding Dose mean to you at this point?
So it's interesting because I get very different vibes from each different channel. If I look at their socials, I'm thinking they're fun, they're energetic, they're very Gen Z just based on the colors and all the things that they're using. When I look at their emails, it's giving a little bit more corporate, but trying to be cool because they're using emojis type of vibes. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Like just so you can see like everyone watching this, what their brand looks like on other channels. Cause I think their branding's amazing. So like
Yeah.
I want everyone to understand like the level that they're performing at because it is a really high level. And then just contrast that to like what's happening on the email side of things. So like if we look at that prospecting video that's like being used on Meta right
Love
now,
that.
or like we look at this.
So cute. Okay, we're gonna start off easy with ginger and honey. Next up, ginger and turmeric.
I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like
Handle the heat.
this,
Mhm.
this is so fun and so playful and like just so engaging. And it definitely feels like their email is like a channel that's a second or like a back thought that we've just like
Mhm.
checked off this to like send you a few things. Or hey, here's a promo. Let's just send out a text email versus like taking this same level of branding and creativity and playfulness and like formatting it for email as well.
100%. So if I was taking over lifecycle marketing for Dose, like here are really the main things that stand out to me from the customer journey that we just looked at. Number one, I really believe that there's so much opportunity in optimizing the quiz that they already have live. So like we saw, the quiz right now that Dose has, it just lives at the bottom of their homepage. So you do have to work to go and find it. So making that quiz a lot more prominent by having it in the navigation menu on the website really clearly displayed, maybe even having your pop-up form push people into the quiz could be a really good move for Dose. So number one, there's a lot of different benefits that the brand offers and just understanding what customers actually want, which that wasn't any of the questions that they asked, was it, Saf? Like in terms of what benefits you're looking for?
So like kind of, yeah, because it's asking about your main health concerns.
Okay, so it's asking about your main health concerns, which is great that like it's already asking for that. And just like being able to use that data then to then speak to different customers in order to convert them based on the like unique solution that Dose is providing that we now know solves the problem that they have is going to go a really long way. And then even more than that, what I think would convert me into a first time purchaser even better and then potentially improve repeat purchase rates is like that quiz lends itself to like helping you actually dynamically build a like customized pack for each customer based on their quiz results. And like one of my biggest hesitations when I'm shopping with a brand that has that build your own pack feature is like there's a lot. It can be really overwhelming if you don't already like have a good idea of what you want. Like if there are a lot of different flavors, the ones that Dose offers, and you kind of have to like start doing your research, start looking into like which one you're going to want. Should I take 2 of this one or 3 of this one? Because I do think, Saf, they did have like flavor preference questions, right? Or like spice tolerance level.
Spice tolerance.
Yeah, they had spice tolerance. Like they can definitely include another question around like flavor profiles that would really, really improve the ability to convert me if like they could then take that data and then just automatically generate a pack that's like built for me. So that I know like this is the pack built for Elliot. You can literally just click buy now right here. That takes, number one, like it takes the effort and the friction away from me having to build that pack and that bundle. And then number two, like it really increases the odds of me actually having a pack that's going to like include the things that I like. Because if I do get into that flow of building my own pack and I miss like a flavor that I like would have liked because there's so many choices, that obviously wouldn't be ideal. So for those 2 reasons, I think like making the quiz just way more prominent and getting it in front of more people is going to be super helpful for the brand to drive more conversions and ultimately more retention as well. And then the next thing that I would 100% prescribe for Dose, like there's two different areas where this is required. So number one, like they have a really, really good acquisition offer in place in terms of those 12 free shots. And like Saf was saying, like she wasn't reminded to take these every day. Like she did feel the benefits from them, but it is easy to like have a day go by where you're not taking one. And at the end of the day, especially with these 12 free shots, like the brand is clearly giving these away because they do lend themselves into being like a really good repeat purchase product that people could potentially start a subscription on. But the only way that that's going to happen is if people actually get into the habit of taking them. The problem with these shots, I believe, and like the reason why I believe this is because Dose is like actually including it in their ads as well, is like it's not fun to take a ginger shot at all. Like it's actually a little like painful. Would you agree with that, Saf?
Yes. And depending on which one you take, it can be like not that bad. I find after you take the first 3 days suck. After that, you're okay. But yes, for the most part, it's not the most fun I've ever had.
So
It's kind of like the Buckley's ads. It tastes awful, but it works.
that's literally
That's
like
yes.
exactly what they're going for. And I think they're nailing it. So it's like they've already accepted that and are playing into it and like tripling down on it. And they have this tagline that I've seen a few times, which I love, which is like, if it's strong, it's Dose. Like it's supposed to not taste good. It's supposed to taste strong. Like that's great. But, and like that might even be the reason why I might buy it or why other people might buy it. But like who loves taking Buckley's? Like who loves drinking like spicy ginger? Not that many people. And if you don't know the benefits yet, like it's very easy to just try it once or twice and then like not rush to take it again if it's not an enjoyable experience. So what I would suggest that like I think could work super well is daily reminders to take the shot in order to help build the habit with literal videos of either the founder of the brand or other team members in the brand, maybe other influencers that like you can get on board where you can create this perception that there's a lot of people around you. Maybe it's just the founder, but regardless, like a daily video of them reaching out and basically saying like, hey, it's time to take our shot of the day. Like we're here to take it with you. And literally just like a video of them taking the shot. So like a different person taking the shot each day just to like have you feel like we're in this together and like we know this isn't fun, but like this is going to help you and we're in this together. So I think like if I were getting that daily in my inbox, I feel like you almost kind of need that like peer pressure of like if other people are doing it, like I can do it too. So I feel like that would crush to get me to actually take it daily when I definitely would not want to. So that would be my suggestion. And then obviously like with the other beverages that are offered, all like the different juices that have their different benefits, like just playing into like what will happen on day 7 if you're drinking this consistently, what will happen on day 30, etc. Are the benefits like very different for each type of juice?
For the juices, yes, because I don't think they all had the same functional benefits that
Mhm,
the shots do. I think shots are kind of like their bread and butter, which makes
mhm.
sense. But like adding these juices that are like effectively double the price of the shots, like if you want to increase AOV, like you should also be pushing the juices. But the different shots definitely have different like nutritional benefits. So the one with probiotics is best for digestion, for
Right.
example. It
So
depends.
that yeah, that definitely makes sense. When it comes to the juices, I don't know if you feel this way, but, like, this is like, I'm the customer demo that probably feels this way. Like, to me, the value in having, like, a Dose juice daily, and I've actually drank Dose before, like, I really like the brand, is that, like, I just feel like I'm getting all of, like, the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that, like, I'm not getting from not consuming, like, enough fruits and vegetables. So I don't even know that they would necessarily need a different branch of a flow for every single flavor. I think just hammering home on getting to 100% of your daily value in vitamin C and all of these other critical elements of my diet that I might not be at is
Yep.
probably what would be really helpful to get me to consume consistently.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree. You definitely don't need different branches for every single product. You could use dynamic content if you really need it. But if they just hammer home the key benefits that you can get, generally speaking, from drinking cold pressed juice, which is like overall you'll feel better. Like you
Mhm.
said, you get all your vitamins. Some of them promote focus, whatever, whatever, whatever. Like I think that would be really beneficial. And like it's still better than drinking juice from the grocery store. So like why would you not drink something that's better for you that tastes just as good?
Yeah, 100%. So because I don't want to just stroke our own egos and we do want the real customer perspective, if they did that 12 daily videos of them taking a shot with you, would you have liked that, Saf?
Personally, I would have thought it was a lot, but I think that if they had like gamified it as well, I don't know if anyone else saw that trend of like a bunch of people were taking shots of either water or alcohol and they like had to keep a straight face and like everyone tried to guess who took like I feel like if there was a way to gamify it, it would feel a lot less overwhelming and probably would have encouraged me to keep taking them every day.
Or even a push to, like, take your shot and share on social because
Yeah.
they're so strong there.
I think that they have a lot of playful content about like that idea of like this is not the, the best thing to take a shot, that like they could do those 12 reminders of like take a shot with different angles or videos that maybe wouldn't have just felt like, oh, like overwhelming to you.
And as long as
Where
that
it
was
yeah, where it could be like, fun. Like they
yeah.
could make it an experience that isn't the best fun.
Yes, 100% agreed. As long as it was for only first-time purchasers, because I think if I was a returning purchaser and got those
For
same 12
sure.
emails, I'd be super annoyed.
100%. Yeah, I also think there's something to do there with a loyalty program as well, whereas like newer loyalty program builds that we've been seeing recently, it's very easy to set up custom actions that can be rewarded. So something cool to gamify it, like you said, could be like send us a picture of your face immediately after you take your shot and get an extra 100 points towards your next purchase or something. I'm thinking that there's probably a really good way to gamify it in that setting just to say if someone does hit their 12 shots, we'll get you 50% off on your next order. But having that fun engagement aspect in it too to actually get you engaging with the brand versus just sending a picture of 12 empty shots and then getting it. So there's probably something. There's no communication that you received around a loyalty program or subscription.
I wish there was.
I think that's really like interesting. I think the other thing that I would definitely implement for Dose is much, much, much more subscription messaging. Like this is the ultimate product that leans into like subscription, especially because you can really play into like messaging and copy around like you'll thank yourself later. Like if you have to, if you're basically saying to a customer that they have to like go out of their way to keep ordering this product that like they actively hate taking every day, even though they might love the results of it. It's just a really strong use case for a subscription. It's going to arrive at your door, never have to think about it, and like you're going to thank yourself later. So I would definitely build that in. And like the way that they had 3 touch points for reviews, like those could have easily been replaced with like 3 touch points to get you to subscribe. So that's pretty much it. And then like the other last thing that Dose absolutely needs to do based on like analyzing their customer journey right now is like they need to stay top of mind. So we've said it before, and like I'm just gonna say it again because it's so important. Saf has other options that she can go to for her cold pressed juice. Like she can make it herself, she can go buy it at the store. Like it's not enough to hope that posting on Instagram every day is going to get in front of her when like in 2025, the reality is there's so little control that brands have over algorithms in terms of Instagram, TikTok, any other social. When you own your list of subscribers, like you have 100% control as long as your deliverability is strong in terms of when and where and how often you can actually get in front of these customers. So like you're putting in a lot of efforts, and we see this from so many different brands that are putting in so much effort on social and other channels and just like forgetting about this incredible asset that they have, which is this owned list of customers that like want to hear from them, and like they actively are ignoring it. So because all of this content is already being created on these other channels, like 100% the content is there. It just needs to be reformatted. And like ideally that branding that's so strong on these other channels can carry over, which can absolutely be done. I speak with brands all the time who like don't think that they can have email marketing be like on brand for them. And it's just never the case. We manage to figure it out all the time. So like Dose just needs to figure it out and get on those like 2 to 3 weekly sends. So now we get to the dispatch retention rubric where we're going to rate each part of the customer journey. So we're going to go through these one by one, and Saf is going to give us her rating on 10. So first off, when it comes to the initial ordering experience, how did you enjoy shopping on the website, Saf?
I really didn't mind shopping on the website. All of the information was there as long as I looked for it. I really liked that I could choose my delivery date so that I knew that I would be home when the product was delivered so it didn't get spoiled. I think that was a huge plus. So I would say the quiz was a little bit hard to find, so I have to dock a point for that. But otherwise, it was like a 9. I'm happy.
Okay, sweet. I think that's really fair. I'm just curious to know if you resonated with what I was saying about all of the choice that comes into play in building that pack, and if there could have been an experience with less friction or if it was just very smooth for you.
I think because of my prior knowledge, it was quite smooth. So I already kind of knew what I liked and didn't like. But had I not had that experience, it could have caused a lot of friction. Just to know, like, for example, if I was picking a juice that had kale in it, kale can sometimes make your juice a little bit more bitter. And I know that I don't like that. So I didn't pick those. But someone who's new to the process wouldn't really know that. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, 100%. And I think also the fact that they included like how to redeem your offer for the 12 free shots in a way that was just super clear to you was great.
Yeah, super helpful.
Is there one thing that you are docking the point for then?
Just that like the quiz was really annoying to find.
Okay.
And like I would have loved to see that high up, because then I wouldn't have had to like go through their whole site to figure out which ginger shot was the best. I would have known from the get-go, and I would have just like clicked the button to order.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, order to delivery phase, shipping times, everything you received between placing your order and getting it. What are you rating it?
I picked the day I wanted it to arrive. It arrived on that day. It arrived within the window they told me it was going to get to me. And then I did get confirmation of when it was shipped and when it arrived. So literally 10 out of 10, 0 complaints.
Amazing. Love to hear it. Unboxing. How are we rating it on 10?
So the packaging, like I said, totally fine. It was a cardboard box. It was branded, which is, I think, is always fun. I do have to dock points for the information in the packaging. And I know that this might seem like a first world issue of not knowing how to dispose of those ice packs. But from a brand that's like screaming that they're organic and they use only recycled plastic, I do expect a little bit more from them in that regard. So I would say it was like an 8.5.
Got it. I think that's fair. Based on everything we've seen in other episodes, there's definitely more they could have done to like impress you there.
Yeah, and then when you see the pictures, you'll see that they were kind of like thrown in. Like there was no extra packaging on the juices, which is fine. Like you're saving cardboard, totally okay with it. But like it doesn't make for the most like exciting experience. When you open the box, it just looks like someone dumped them in there, you know?
Post-purchase. So everything that you received in terms of email, SMS, post-purchase, Saf, what are we rating it?
It's not good because I really want it to be good because I really like the product. It's just I didn't get any post-purchase aside from review requests. and then a couple of campaigns that were just focused. And then even then, some of them were in French and English, even though they asked me what language I wanted to be communicated in. So like, it was like a 3. Like they sent me the order confirmation, which is like out of order to delivery. That's basic in my brain. So there was not much there.
Now, the question I have here, Saf, is like campaigns are absolutely like included in anything they sent you post-purchase to try and win you back. When you did get those sale offers, like were those interesting and engaging for you or no?
So one of them was interesting and engaging, which was I think it was the 20% off tax 10 pack. And it was only engaging and interesting because that was my favorite juice. Like it was so delicious that I saw it and it reminded me to like go get one of the last ones I had in the fridge. But if it had been a flavor that I didn't like, I would have just deleted the email. I wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Okay.
So
Okay, got it. My last question here, Saf, is based on everything. Like, what in 1 or 2 sentences do you think they could have done to make this 10 on 10?
education and so much of it because they have so much to say. And I think Kayla said this, which was like telling me what to expect after having consumed the product so that I was motivated to continue drinking it.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's-
that goes in with education, I feel like, because it's product benefits.
Yeah, especially
Sweet.
for like a first-time purchaser, I feel like that's so important.
How much of that value do you think would have just been like reminding you to drink it?
Like a
In terms
very
of, like-
large portion.
Yeah, in terms of just being top of mind versus saying anything of substance, like literally just reminding you that you bought these and they're in your fridge goes a long way.
I think that would have been like half the battle, to be honest, which is a lot considering they had so much education things that they could have talked about. Just
Mhm.
me reminding me like, hey, like you love this, keep drinking it, or hey, it's good for you. Like I would have been, would have been a really
Yeah.
good experience.
All right, now we get to the product satisfaction rating. So you had your expectations, you bought the product for a reason. How did
So everything that I had, I loved. Product satisfied. It's like a 10 out of 10. I loved pretty much everything I tried. And even the things that weren't my jam, someone else in my family liked. The ginger shots were good. They were spicy. I could handle it. The juices were delicious. Super good.
Okay, cool. Now we have our overall retention rating. So our overall retention rating is just a culmination of everything we just reviewed, but for different brands, different product lines, different categories are going to have different weights. So with that, take into consideration everything we talked about, Saf, what are you rating Dose's overall retention marketing rating?
So in terms of like retention, they didn't really do anything for retention. Maybe I'm being harsh in saying that. If anyone disagrees, please tell me. But
So
they
I
didn't.
actually I'll like step in and basically just say I think that the decision to give you 12 free shots is probably rooted in retention. It could be rooted in just like higher LTV by getting you to try something that they hope
Mhm.
is going to lead to you buying again. But like that's why I think it's important to factor all of this stuff in, where I will give them the credit that like I do think that is a really good retention play.
Okay, I'm very
Mhm.
happy you said that because that does change my rating.
And
'Cause
if you followed them on social, you would get posts every single day.
yeah, but they didn't tell me to follow them on socials.
true.
I don't even think they had social icons at the bottom of their emails to like that I could have clicked on.
But I do imagine that they might be operating with the assumption that a lot of people do follow and discover them from social because it's such a strong channel. So it's like this situation versus like how they're perceiving their average customer too.
Okay, I think
I think
that's
that's
fair.
I think that's kind of fair, but I also think when you are clearly counting on paid ads to grow the business, where they have 52 live ads just in English, just in Canada that are live right now, and that's just for Meta, like you can't assume that everyone who finds you through an ad who then converts is going to go hit the follow button on social.
This is also true.
Yeah.
So in that case, with all of that taking into consideration, plus the like variety pack, I would say it was like a 6.
All right. So with all of that said, Saf, we reviewed the whole customer journey. We've gone through all of the ratings in our retention rubric. Now comes the time to answer the final question of will you be buying from Dose again?
So the answer is probably, but not on an average day. I would probably shop the sales because that's when they pop up in my inbox, but I probably wouldn't be like an average returning customer or a subscription customer.
Why would you not want to start a subscription based on the benefits that you've experienced so far?
Because I don't think I'm going to drink them because I keep forgetting they're in my fridge. And I don't like wasting food or wasting product. That's especially because all this is organic and it has like everything has a carbon footprint to it. Like I don't like wasting food.
How long do the juices or shots stay good for in your fridge?
That's a great question. I have no idea. They didn't tell me.
I was gonna, because if you knew that, that might change your mind. Like if they're good in the fridge for, I don't know, 2 months, that might change your mind on
Yeah,
becoming a subscriber.
you're absolutely right. It probably would change my mind. But based on the information I have right now, no, I wouldn't subscribe. I would shop the sales.
On their FAQ, we guarantee a minimum of 60 days of shelf life for our wellness shots. That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid. Okay, maybe.
But I had
Very
to
solid.
look for it. And
Got it.
once it's opened, within 4 days.
Fair enough. I mean, how long does it take to drink one ginger shot?
Got it. And basically, to answer the even bigger questions, if they had done everything that would have gotten them that 10 on 10 retention rating, would you have seen yourself starting a subscription?
Yes, for sure.
Well, there we have it. Thank you for tuning in to another awesome episode of LTV Lab. Thank you to Dose for maybe winning another customer and having a great customer journey for us to break down. If anyone wants to have our team at Dispatch audit your brand's customer journey and do a deep dive audit into your own Klaviyo account, hit the link in the description and happy to chat with you.